We're going to dive right into some Cowboys Overreaction Monday here in just a second. But first, I want to thank everyone who's clicked on this video and is watching the Dallas Cowboys Report, the #1 most watched, most subscribed Cowboys YouTube channel out there. I want to thank you all so much. And if you haven't already, hey, you know what? Even though things are not going well for the Dallas Cowboys, now is a great time to subscribe. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button, subscribe. And coming up right now, Overreaction Monday. Are the Cowboys going to keep starting Garrett Gilbert? I think you can make a very strong argument that, don't they have to? I mean, this Cowboys offense looked a lot better against Pittsburgh, but I'm only going to give this one 3 stars. I might actually push that it should be 4, but will it be? I'm not so sold, on that one. Look, Gilbert showed a lot better ability than I think we thought we were going to get out of him, given that he was quarterback option number 4 this year for the Dallas Cowboys, and they move the ball better than what they have in any week since Dak Prescott went down. He moved the ball better than, by far, Ben DiNucci did, and was better than what Andy Dalton did. Now, the issue for Dallas is that Dalton should be back for the next game. He should be back. We'll see if he actually is. And Dalton was the guy that they promised, hey, yeah, you're the backup. If Dak goes down, you'll start. You'll get a chance to, prove your worth and get a new contract. And he might have lost his injury or his job, though, due to COVID. Gilbert played really, really well. And I think that has to matter. This is a Cowboys team that is still at least trying to win football games. And I think the argument can be made right now, Gilbert gives you a better shot at doing that. And the reason I'm actually most in favor of it is because I think Gilbert is more likely to be around the Cowboys longer than just the rest of this season. You might be able to have a long-term backup if you give Gilbert the job the rest of the way. See how he does. I am of the mindset this season is lost. I've embraced the tank altogether. I'm trying to prep for the future. Garrett Gilbert is not a long-term starter for this organization. Don't get that fooled. But he could be a nice backup for you. And it'd be nice to have a passable backup quarterback since, well, the Cowboys haven't had one of those in a very long time. So pick a quarterback. Who do you want to start next week and maybe for the rest of the season? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, just scroll on down and get your votes in. Type AD for Andy Dalton or GG for Garrett Gilbert. Let's talk defense now because is the run defense good now? I'm only going to give this 2 stars, and maybe I should have given it 1, but I'm trying to put some positivity out there here around this defense. The defense overall has really done a 180 in the past 2 games. Look, the run defense throughout the year has been among the NFL's worst. Houston Texans and Dallas Cowboys have been the 2 worst run defenses because apparently they can't stop the run here in Texas. But against the Steelers, I mean, that defense didn't just show up. They showed out. Everybody played well up until, the fourth quarter or so when things kind of got out of hand, but I'm not going to blame the defense for all of that. This is a very promising sign of growth. The Steelers have some talented backs. James Conner, Anthony McFarland, Benny Snell, and they didn't do anything. As a team, guys, they ran the ball 18 times for 46 yards. That's 2.5 yards per carry. And you know what? The longest run they had was an 8-yard scramble by Ben Roethlisberger. You take that away, it's 2.2 yards per carry. The Steelers' ground game was non-existent. Absolutely non-existent. And a couple guys in particular get shout-outs, at least for me, having, of course, gone back and at least watched the normal broadcast film again, because I hate myself and I do it every week. Neville Gallimore, Antwaun Woods. Those 2 players really stepped up this week. I thought Neville Gallimore had his best game in his NFL career by a significant margin. He played really damn well against Pittsburgh, and that means a lot for the Cowboys going forward because even though he's still just a 3rd-round pick and a rookie and developing and all of that, if he can be a key rotation piece going forward, that means you hit on that draft pick. And maybe he's not ever going to be an all-star Gerald McCoy in his prime type. That's okay. But if he's going to be a key and quality rotation piece for you, you hit on CeeDee Lamb, looks pretty good on Trevon Diggs, hitting on Neville Gallimore too, that's a really good sign for that Cowboys draft class. Now, today's show is made possible by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code you see on screen, Cowboys125. And in honor of the Cowboys covering the spread for the first time all year, we're going to bring back the bet cover. So here's what this is, folks. For new BetUS customers only, if you sign up, deposit $100, and place a bet on the Cowboys to cover against the Vikings, and the Cowboys don't do that, I will cover your bet loss up to $50. So you put down $100, you get the 125% deposit bonus. Let's say you put down $30 on the Cowboys to cover whatever the spread ends up being once you place that bet against the Minnesota Vikings, and they lose, I will cover your loss for you guys up to $50. Email us, cowboys@chatsports.com, if you have any questions there. We can get you started. We can get your Venmo just to get everything going early and often. Again, you can't bet on the game quite yet because they're on the bye week, but hey, this deal will be available up through kickoff. So email us, cowboys@chatsports.com. Let's go back to the offense now. The running back position. Is it time for a committee or a timeshare? 2 stars on this one. It probably should be, but again, are the Cowboys actually going to do it? Look, I'm not going to throw too much shade at Zeke here. I've done plenty of that over the years. But he's battling through a hamstring injury. So I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, look, Zeke sucks because he's a bit banged up. Like, that's the reality here. But it is concerning for me that Elliott this season has been not anywhere near as effective as Tony Pollard has been. Look at the difference in yards per carry. It's sub 4 for Zeke. It's almost 4.5 for Tony Pollard. And I know that, look, maybe the offensive line is not as good as it normally is, and I think that Pollard's quick shiftiness, and he's much more explosive than Elliott is, actually does fit better behind a more makeshift, banged up, and really not good run-blocking offensive line. He also has more 20-plus yard runs than Zeke, which I'm pretty sure Zeke fumbled on his only one, by the way, on like a third of the carries. That's troubling. And even with Zeke banged up this past week, he had twice the snaps. So here's my question for you guys, and I am concerned about the answer, but I think I'm actually going to go yes here myself. Should Zeke and Pollard split reps? And I'm meaning more than what they currently are. Should it be almost a 50-50 split? Get your votes in here. Why for yes or and for no? Let's talk about the officials now, because they suck. I'm giving this one 3 stars. If you guys want to blame the officials for the loss, I absolutely get it. The 2 Jalen Smith penalties were questionable at best. The officials also clearly missed one when Garrett Gilbert got smacked across the face. There was the weird Leighton Vander Esch penalty, which was, again, a lot of these were by the book, the correct calls, but it's a little weird when only one team's getting them called, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, who, again, played well this week, he was upset. Here's what he had to say. The frustrating part is it wasn't in our control. I'm not one to complain. I was total BS on the last call. So hopefully the NFL can take that into account and will get better from it. I am of the belief that in most cases, penalties should be pretty even across both teams. Wasn't the case this week. The Steelers had 3 penalties for 16 yards, 1 penalty of which, by the way, actually gave them 3 points. Remember? They missed the long field goal, but they had a pre-snap false start, so they got a second chance and made it. So it ended up working out in their favor. The Cowboys, meanwhile, had 7 for 70, excuse me. Significantly different amount there, and the frustrating part is that all of the critical calls, the ones that were called and not called, they went against Dallas each time. The Jalen Smith penalties, the non-call against Garrett Gilbert when he got smacked across the face. Like, everything went against Dallas. And this is a refrain we've said many a time before that doesn't seem like the critical crunch time calls often go the Cowboys' way. Right? Rams? I remember that one too. So if you guys blame the refs, here's your opportunity. Go ahead and do it. Type in BS. I will make note, as I was always taught growing up playing sports, don't blame the officials because it was your fault. You're in a position to even lose the game in the first place. But if you want to type in BS, hey, I gave it 3 stars. I get the frustration. It's annoying. All right, let's talk Dorance Armstrong. I am begging you, Mike Nolan, Mike McCarthy, Jerry and Steven, because I know you two watch. 4 stars. Please stop playing Dorance Armstrong. I have made this point every week, and I refuse to stop. Because Dorance Armstrong continues to make zero impact when he's out there on defense. 26 snaps against the Steelers, no impact whatsoever. Did you even notice he was out there? And yet Bradley and I can't get on the damn field. Here's what Dorance Armstrong has done this year. 13 tackles. His pressure rate is 5.9%, which I actually rounded up to get to there. It was actually like 5.88 or something. He's not good. He's bad at football. I'm sorry. He's not doing anything for you. He's just a guy out there. So, look, we have successfully in the past freed the likes of Jordan Lewis, and he hasn't been that great this year. So instead it is time. We are freeing Bradley and I. Everyone in the comments, put in hashtag free and I, because there's no reason that he should be playing or he should be inactive while Dorance Armstrong gets 26 snaps a game. I know they're saying, oh, special teams. Okay, Anai's played special teams too. Or put them both out there. How about you find a way to make Anai active instead of one of the linebackers who aren't playing at all? Get Anai out there. Everyone in the comments, I want you to put in hashtag free Anai. I do want to give some credit here, and this is very much a moral victory for the Cowboys, but I think it is important for the coaching staff. They aren't quitting now. 4 stars on this one. I had accused, and many of us had as well, both media and fans, had accused the Cowboys of quitting in the games immediately following the Dak Prescott injury. But these past 2 games have been a very different football team. They've shown a new and renewed fight. They've been competitive with a 3rd and a 4th string quarterback. And to me, the way I interpret this is that there is a buy-in with this coaching staff. And that matters because after the game against the Giants, the Cowboys laid a pair of clunkers. Blown out against Arizona in prime time, 10 points. They scored 7 of those very much late in the game. 3 points against Washington. It would never look like they even showed up. And yeah, the score says big loss against Philadelphia. It was actually much closer. But the defense has woken up the past 2 games. And that means a lot for, Mike Nolan's job security, but also the defense, after apparently cutting some fat with the likes of Dontari Poe and Daryl Worley, have been able to kind of renew their focus and have success. And I know that the season's lost and it's tanking time and whatever, but having buy-in for a coaching staff in a losing season means that next year, the year that's going to matter for this Cowboys team in terms of having success, isn't actually dead in the water already. It means that there is still light at the end of the tunnel for this Dallas Cowboys team. And as iffy as things have been, I do think Mike McCarthy and the coaching staff should get a significant amount of credit for that.